When it comes to dating, scarcity creates value. Today we'll talk about what that is, why it works, but also how to do it. Stay tuned. Peace, and as always, cheers, folks. Coach Mark Mahalovic. I'm happy that you're here, and as always, I hope you're happy that you're here because today we're going to talk about how scarcity creates value when it comes to dating. So, without further ado, let's chat about it. So, what's a scarce resource? Well, think of water and then think of diamonds, right? Yes, without water, we're not going to be able to live, but water is an abundant resource. It's always there, right? It's why it's so cheap. Well, it's not that cheap anymore, but versus a diamond, diamonds are a much more scarce resource. They're a lot harder to get, especially when it comes to real diamonds, right? Hence why diamonds are going to be thousands and thousands of dollars versus a bottle of water. It's $1, $2 at, the grocery store, wherever you go. Water's not scarce. Diamonds are, right? A scarce resource is something that's really hard to obtain. It's hard to get, right? It's got a lot of value attached to it. Perceived value, right? And that's the big thing. It's perception. It's perceived value. So if you perceive something to be not available, to be more scarce, you're going to put much more value on that thing, right? You're going to want it that much more because humans always want what you can't have. Apply that same principle to dating. So I did a psychological study back in 1975, and I'll put the link down in the description below. But I can't pronounce the gentleman's last name, but it's Stephen Warchel and his colleagues in 1975. They did a study. It was a cookie experiment. So they took a jar of cookies. One jar had 10 cookies. One jar had 2. And they asked people, which one do you perceive has more value? What do you think the participants picked? The one with more cookies in it or the one with only 2? You got it right. The one with 2, the jar with 2 cookies had higher perceived value. Even though they might have been the exact same cookies, no difference. The one with only 2 had more perceived value in it. Because the brain thinks, well, that people want that one more, so I want that one more, versus nobody wanted that one with 10 cookies in that jar. Nobody wanted that jar of cookies, right? I want the one that's more scarce. That's just psychology, right? You can't beat the human brain and can't beat psychology. It is what it is. So when it comes to dating especially, right, the more and more and more you answer every single text right away, you answer every single phone call, you drop what you're doing at the blink of an eye to go help somebody, and you're always available all the time, you're becoming the opposite of a scarce resource, right? When you're always there, what do you think that's going to do to your value in the other person's eyes? Sure, it comes from the heart, right? It comes from a great spot in your heart and your mind that, well, I'm always there for them. I'm doing all these wonderful things for them all the time, and I'm never not available because I want to make them happy. Doesn't necessarily come from a bad spot, right? It's not wrong per se, but it is when it comes to you wanting to build your value and build your attraction in their eyes. Now, does that mean you can never answer a text right away or answer a phone call or drop what you're doing to go help that person? No, it doesn't mean that at all. But the point is, if you're doing it every single day, every single week, all the time, nonstop, regardless of what's happening in your life, right? Then it becomes a big issue, okay? So, and a way to think about it too, it's like if you were to buy a girl flowers every single date, right? Let's say you've been dating for a month or 2 months, and every single time you took her out, you bought her flowers. Sure, the first 1 or 2 or 3 dates, probably loved them, right? It's like, heck yeah, this guy's awesome. But after the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th date, you think she's going to still value those same flowers anymore? No. She's going to think you're weird. And they lose their luster, right? It's the same thing that goes with you. So put that quote in your head. Scarcity creates value. So you cannot forget that. It's such an important principle when it comes to dating. Now, this does not mean that you're going to become manipulative and you're going to try to play mind games on the other person. It's not about, well, they took an hour to text back, I'm going to take 2 hours. They took a day, I'm going to take 3 days. Whatever. I mean, that's a whole other topic of conversation when it comes to that stuff, but it's not a game we're playing here. It's not manipulative tactics. So To transition into that is, how do you become a scarce resource? Well, there's no exact steps into it, but the biggest thing that you have to think about is, am I living my full life? Am I putting more focus to me, right? Am I focused on what's important to me, right? Because where focus goes, your energy flows. If your sole focus is on this person's happiness, you can kiss your scarcity goodbye, and you can watch their attraction go bye-bye too, over time. Doesn't happen overnight, but it's going to happen over time. Okay? So if you want to become a scarce resource and improve your relationship and improve their attraction for you and their perceived value in you, you have to build an abundant life. You have to build a life that is just very full, where you're busy doing stuff, to where you don't respond back to every text right away. You don't respond to every single phone call or answer every single phone call. You don't just drop what you're doing to go help that person, right? Again, it's not like you can't ever do that stuff. That's not the point of this video. But the point is that you have an abundant life to where on a day-to-day basis, you're busy living, you're busy doing stuff. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be working 16 hours a day. I was watching some Instagram stuff a while back where people talk, well, I have my 9 to 5, but I also have my 5 to 9 or my 5 to 10 bullshit. So stupid what some people come up with these days, but they're putting on this facade of how busy they are throughout the day all the time. Whatever, neither here nor there, but you don't have to be busy just working to create scarcity. Scarcity could be as simple as, when you wake up in the morning, let's say 7 a.m., maybe from the hours of or let's say 6. Wake up at 6 a.m., from 6 to 7:30 a.m., that's your wake up time, that's your coffee time, that's your time. I'm going to stretch, read a book, journal. I'm going to get my mind set for the day. So you don't answer your phone in that time. Then maybe you go to work at 8 a.m. from 8 to 5. Okay, well, from 8 to noon, I'm busy at work. So noon to 1, I can text, I'm free. From then 1 to 5, I'm busy back at work again. Okay? So as of right now, in that example, you have 1 hour in that day, in that example day, to text or call people, or text them back or whatever. Then when you get home, okay, well, maybe after work, you're going to the gym, right? Well, now you're busy for another hour. And then maybe you do some more journaling. Maybe you're reading. Maybe you're just going to sit down and watch your favorite show. I know I'm not going to lay out a day for you here, but you get my drift. It's to the point where you're building days to where you're busy doing stuff. And when you're completely free and when you're just calm and centered, okay, well, if they call me now, I'll answer it. Or if they text me now, I'll text back. So that's how you create scarcity, is by just living an abundant life filled with your passions, your hobbies, your friends, your family, and you going for what does you want in life. You're going for your passions, right? You're trying to build your 2.0 version of yourself. If you do stuff like that, you're going to be more of a scarce resource. You're not going to respond back right away to every single thing all the time. And what does that do? That creates a little bit of mystery. And with a little bit of mystery, right, because attraction does not grow in person, it grows in space, right? That's when attraction grows. And they've done studies in this too, where women perceive men higher when they don't know their feelings, right? When they're a little mysterious, they have higher perceived value. So if you as a man watching this right now, and if you're guilty of texting back right away, responding to every single phone call, and doing all the things that we've talked about so far, you need to stop that immediately, and you need to start thinking, what am I neglecting in my own life? What am I not putting my time and attention to that needs it right now? And again, I promise you, if you start doing that stuff, you're going to see your relationships start to shift a little bit in your favor. And hell, this goes for women too. Girls, if you're out there watching this, if you're the one that's always texting back right away, doing all the things we talked about all the time, your value is going to plummet. Guaranteed. It's just human psychology. It's going to happen. So, scarcity creates value. Again, don't make this a game. It's not manipulatory. Make this about you. Make this about you living your fullest, best life humanly possible. And if you do that, you're going to naturally create scarcity in your life, and you're naturally going to create higher perceived value in you through someone else's eyes. All right? Simple stuff, right? So at the end of the day, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. My book, The Masculine Workbook, simple walkthrough guide. It's got a bunch of journaling practices in there with a lot of good quotes. So please feel free to download it. It's a free download on my YouTube page. So I'd love feedback too if you do download it, and shoot me an email with your feedback. And then lastly, my email, flyinghealthcoach@gmail.com. Again, your first coaching session is free. If you want to keep going with coaching, awesome. If you don't, that's totally cool too. But at the end of the day, like I said, I do these videos because I want to help. Truly do. At the bottom of my heart, I want to help you guys. I want to help you have the best life, the best relationships, and yeah, just live your best life. That's my goal. But just remember, you gotta believe. Until next time, peace and cheers.